I believe that people that praise violence should not be anywhere near our children. I do not know of a parent that wants their child to be receiving instruction from an individual who glorifies and applauds brutal murder.
Senator Booker, in this spirit of introspection, is standing by this endorsement. So I suppose I would invite, well, perhaps I should have looked, because Senator Booker has left the room, and I think I can guess why.
In the halls of power, tempers flare, a life cut short, a nation's prayer. Professors speak with venomous pride, applauding death as morals slide. A mother grieves, a nation stares, while hatred festers unawares. The witness warns, our speech must heal, not praise the pain our hearts should feel. For words can wound, and silence shields the truth that freedom sometimes yields. When classrooms echo violence loud, our future trembles in the crowd. Let leaders walk the talk they preach, and guard the hearts they claim to teach. For reason dies where hate is fed, and freedom fades when love is dead.
Thank you to each of you for being here today, and to our law enforcement that is here. We thank you for your service. Mr. Knowles, I do want to come to you, and it is wonderful to have you here with us today, and we appreciate that you're a Nashville resident, have been there for several years now, and I want to return to the topic of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And one of the things that was quite disturbing to me was quotes that came from activist professors. And we had in Tennessee 3 professors that made just horrendous statements. 2 have been terminated. 1 is going through a termination hearing at this point. An assistant dean at MTSU posted on Facebook, "Looks like old Charlie spoke his fate into existence. Hate begets hate. Zero sympathy." There was an assistant professor at the University of Tennessee, and their post referenced Charlie Kirk, and it was, "The world is better off without him in it, even those who are claiming to be sad for his wife and kids. His kids are better off living in a world without a disgusting psychopath like him and his wife." And then an English professor at Cumberland University posted on Facebook, "Crying about a Nazi getting shot while staying silent about the school shooting in Colorado today is peak Republican." Now, I believe that people that praise violence should not be anywhere near our children. I do not know of a parent that wants their child to be receiving instruction from an individual who glorifies and applauds brutal murder, and the murder of a husband, a father, the murder of someone who believes, like me, that our nation has been kept free because we believe in robust, respectful, bipartisan debate. And I would like for you to talk for just a minute about what is happening in higher education and the role that seems to be playing in some of this violence and violent rhetoric.
I think you make a marvelous point, Senator. You cannot possibly expect a parent to send their children to a school where the professors might endeavor to kill half the students. It would be like going to a restaurant with the assumption that the waiters want to poison half the customers or something like that. You can't go to a hospital where the nurses want to kill half the patients. It's just, you cannot operate a society that way. That is obviously beyond the pale. And if you are to permit that kind of speech into the marketplace of ideas, it doesn't have the effect of expanding the marketplace of ideas. It actually shrinks the marketplace of ideas. This is why the First Amendment obviously prohibits things like direct threats or obscenity or fighting words, because these are forms of speech that actually undermine rational discourse. You know, I think Senator Booker made a good point just a moment ago when he said we have to self-examine, we have to be introspective. And, you know, I can't help but think of a line today. Jay Jones has the vision, commitment, and integrity to keep families safe and make sure every Virginian gets a fair shake in the justice system. I'll be working every day to ensure Jay wins this race. That's the endorsement of Senator Booker for a man who would seek to be the Attorney General of Virginia. This is a man who, if people have not been reading the news, has called for a Republican to be murdered, for his children to be murdered, for the children to die in their mother's arms in order to persuade the Republican to change his policy views, and a man who says that he would urinate on the graves of multiple Republicans. Senator Booker, in this spirit of introspection, is standing by this endorsement. So I suppose I would invite, well, perhaps I should have looked, because Senator Booker has left the room, and I think I can guess why. Senator Booker, I think, should practice what he preaches, because this is the kind of moment. You cannot have a professor who wants to teach students and is going to desire to kill half of them. You certainly cannot have law enforcement officers who would engage in this kind of violent rhetoric against half of their constituents. So long as anyone stands by an endorsement such as that, their words are meaningless. They are shedding crocodile tears on the topic of political violence.
I find it just so astounding that we have professors that continue to be in classrooms and hold such views as I put on the posters behind me, and that parents are then having to address those issues with their kids. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.